Make a slip knot and chain 35. Once you get 35 chains, double crochet into the second chain from the hook and continue making double crochet in each chain all the way until end of the chain. At the end, chain 1, turn your work. That turning chain 1 does not count as a stitch. Next, you're going to make a front post double crochet and back post double crochet stitch. Actually, instead of working on top of stitches like you usually do, you're going to work behind those posts and in front of them, like you are seeing what I'm doing. So just continue alternating between the front post double crochet stitch and the back post double crochet stitch all the way until end of the row. For the last stitch, make a double crochet on top of the last double crochet stitch instead of making a front post or back post double crochet. Chain 1, turn your work. Continue alternating between a front post double crochet stitch and the back post double crochet stitch all the way until the end. But into the last stitch, actually you're going to leave the double crochet stitch halfway and you're going to complete it with another different yarn color. And always remember, for the last stitch, actually you're just going to work on top of the stitch that you normally do instead of making the front post double crochet or the back post double crochet. So just cut off that other yarn, fold the other new one and just complete the double crochet with that other new yarn. Make 2 double crochet into that first stitch from the hook and continue making 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way until the second last stitch. Into the last stitch, you are also going to make 2 double crochet into that very same stitch. Actually, you are just going to make increase for that first row. At the end, chain 1, turn your work. For the next row, you are not going to do any increase, which means starting with that very first stitch from the hook, just make 1 double crochet into that very same stitch and continue making 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way until the end. No increase. And you're going to alternate between the increase row and the no increase row all the way until you get a total of 46 stitches, whereas your sleeve must be able to measure about 18 to 19 inches. At the end, just chain 1 and leave a long yarn tail for seaming. Go ahead and make more other identical sleeve. For the back panel, actually you're just going to do the same thing similar to sleeves. So make a slip knot and chain 62 or 63, and remember, for this sweater I'm making size small, so actually it's gonna be depending on the size you are making. Once you get 63 chains, now make a double crochet into the second chain from the hook and continue making double crochet in each chain all the way until the end. Repeat everything you have done for your sleeves until to a point where you are going to start with row 1 with a different yarn color, because for this back panel you are not going to do any increase. which means the back post and front post double crochet, those must be done for 2 rows, both for sleeves and the back panel, and the same thing I'm going to do for your front panel. Thing here done for sleeves, but as you are doing the first row and all the rows actually for the back panel, no increase, so which means just start making a double crochet into that very first stitch from the hook and continue making 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way until the end. At the end, just chain 1 and start working again into the very first stitch from the hook all the way until you are satisfied with the size of your back panel. Whereas in my case for the back panel, I'm going to make it until it measures about 21 to 22 inches long, or up from 20 to 21 inches long. In each stitch all the way until you are satisfied with the size of your back panel. Once satisfied with the size of your back panel, just go ahead, chain 1 and cut off the yarn, because next you're going to make the front panel. Granny squares tutorial is actually linked in the description, and you have to make a total of 9. So you're going to start off by joining the granny squares together. Make a slip knot and start in one of the corner actually. Chain 1 to fully attach your yarn and make 3 double crochet back into that same corner, and continue making 3 double crochet in each space all the way until you reach the corner. Once you reach the next corner, make 3 double crochet into that corner, chain 2, make more 3 double crochet back into that same corner, and continue making 3 double crochet in each space all the way until you reach the third corner. Once you reach the third corner, just make 3 double crochet into that corner, chain 1, turn your work, and I'm going to show you how you're going to attach the second granny square to this first granny square. Make sure both your squares are facing the same side. So just yarn over, insert the hook into that first corner for the second granny square, like you're making double crochet like that. Release the hook, slip stitch into the first stitch for that first granny square, slip stitch like that, pull through, and make another double crochet back into that same corner for the second granny square. Keep releasing the hook. Continue doing that until you make a total of 3 double crochet into that very same corner, and for the first granny square, do not skip any stitch when you're slip stitching. So just go ahead until you make a total of 3 double crochet stitches in each space for the second granny square all the way until you reach the corner. So once you reach the corner, just complete them. We have been completing other chain 1, turn work, because next you're going to complete that corner for the second granny square, but next 3 double crochet actually you're not going to attach it to any square, which means you're not going to attach it to the first granny square anymore. So just continue making 3 double crochet in each space all the way corner. Once you reach the next corner, make 3 double crochet into that corner, chain 2, make more 3 double crochet to that same corner, and continue making 3 double crochet in each space all the way until you reach the next corner. For the next corner, just make 3 double crochet, chain 1, turn work, and you're going to attach the third granny square, which is we are going to do it the same way we have attached the second granny square to the first granny square. Once you have joined all your 3 granny squares, now for that last corner, chain 2, make more 3 double crochet back into that same corner, and continue making 3 double crochet in each space all the way until you reach the point where your 2 granny squares have met. Once you reach that point where your 2 granny squares have met, make 3 double crochet into that incomplete corner, chain 1, and try to slip stitch into that chain 1 space between your granny squares, and try to complete the other corner for the next granny square by making 3 double crochet into the next corner as well. So now just go ahead, do the same thing all the way until end of the third granny square. Once you reach the end of the third granny square, complete that fourth corner by making 3 double crochet into the same corner, chain 2, 3 more double crochet into that corner, and have to turn your work because next you're going to attach, actually you're just going to shift to the second row where you're going to attach the fourth granny square to the third one. Sorry, for the third granny square, actually just make 3 double crochet to this last corner, chain 1, turn your work before you attach the fourth granny square to it. Actually you are going to attach it on top of it, and you're just going to attach it the same way you have been attaching other granny squares to other granny squares. So just go ahead doing the same thing all the way until the end. And always, once you reach the point where your granny squares have met, always chain 1 before slip stitch onto that chain 1 space between your granny squares, chain 1 again, then turn your work, and you are going to make more 3 double crochet back into that same corner you have started with, and continue making 3 double crochet in each space all the way until you reach the next corner. Once you reach the next corner, chain 1, turn your work, and you are going to attach the 5th granny square to the other 4th granny square, and you are just going to do the same thing you have been attaching other granny squares to other granny squares, and it actually just the same process you're going to repeat. And just make sure when you're attaching your granny squares, they must be facing the same side. Continue the same process until you have attached all your 3 granny squares for the second row, and actually just to continue doing the same thing you have done for the first row before you attach the other 7th granny square to the 6th one. Continue working across the top of your second row all the way until the end. Into that last corner, actually just make 3 double crochet there, chain 1 and attach your other granny squares until you have a total of 9 granny squares attached to each other. Once they are attached to each other, I'm going to show you how you're going to finally finish off everything. The panel all the way until you reach the first corner you started with for the first granny square, and here just to complete that incomplete corner by making 3 double crochet into that first corner you started with, chain 2 and slip stitch on top of the first double crochet stitch you have started with, and do not cut off the yarn or turn your work, because actually you're just going to continue working around again all around those granny squares. Make 1 double crochet back into that same stitch and continue making 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way around, and including those chain 1 spaces and as well as chain 2 spaces in corners. In those corners where there are chain 2 spaces, actually have to make 2 double crochet into those corners, and into those chain 1 spaces actually have to make 1 double crochet in each. So just continue doing that until the end. Stitch you have started with, chain 1, and actually you're going to work around the panel by making 2 double crochet back into that same stitch, and continue making 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way. But once you reach the corner, you have to make 2 double crochet stitch actually for the next corner, whereas it's not where your granny squares have met, but the next corner for the first row. Since this front panel is in the shape of a rectangle, so you must be able to see where corners are, and those are the corners where you're going to place 2 double crochet stitches in one of the stitches in corners. Which means in other stitches just continue making 1 double crochet in each, only in corners where you have to make some increase. So then once you reach the end, just try to slip stitch on top of the first double crochet stitch, chain 1, and I'll meet you there. You can go ahead and add extra around the same as this one with the increase before you start shaping your shoulders. So at the end, just chain 1, turn your work, and you're going to start working to the first 16 double crochet stitches by making 1 double crochet in each stitch until the 16th stitch, or making 2 double crochet in each until you reach the 16th stitch. Your work before you start shaping your shoulders, and you can start by making 1 double crochet in each stitch or start with increase in the first stitch, and just continue making 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way until you reach the 16th stitch or the 17th stitch. And it's the same thing you're going to do on the other side actually to shape your shoulders. On the other side actually you're going to start into that marked corner where you have done some of the increases, and have to do the same thing by working until you reach the 16th stitch. So just go ahead and do that. At the end, chain 1, turn your work, and you have to continue making 1 double crochet into that very first stitch from the hook, and continue making 1 double crochet in each stitch until you reach the 16th stitch. One more time. At the end, chain 1 and you can leave a long yarn tail for joining before you cut off the yarn, and you have to do the same thing on the other shoulder. Start working on the other shoulder, make a slip knot and start in one of the marked stitch and continue making double crochet in each stitch all the way until you get the same size as the other shoulder. Actually, once you make a slip stitch in there, chain 1 to fully attach your yarn, make 1 double crochet back into that same stitch and continue making double crochet in each stitch until you reach the next marked stitch, which is actually the 16th stitch. You have just to repeat the same thing you have done for the other shoulder. Next, you're going to start working at the bottom part of this front panel by actually doing the same thing you've done for other bottom parts, but actually for this one you're going to attach that other new color to this one because this one is already completed, unlike others where you have started from the bottom part. So actually you're just going to start in those corners where you have marked your stitches, and there should be 62 stitches, so that your bottom part must be equal to other bottom parts, actually for the same measurement as the back panel. So just make a slip knot and start into that other marked stitch, chain 1 and make a double crochet back into that same space and continue making double crochet in each stitch all the way until you reach the next corner, where one of those corners there should be those increased stitches. Make 2 double crochet into that same space and continue making 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way until the second last stitch, because into the last stitch, which is actually the marked stitch, make also 2 double crochet stitch. But at the end you must have a total of 62 stitches. Chain 1, turn your work, and you're going to start off by making a front post double crochet stitch as well as a back post double crochet stitch, and have just to continue alternating between the two the same way you have been doing for other panels for bottom parts for sleeves and the back panel that you have done. So just continue alternating between the front post double crochet and back post double crochet, and actually you are going to do it twice the same thing you have done for other panels. And remember, in 2 last stitches always, instead of making a front post double crochet stitch or the back post double crochet stitch, you actually have to make a double crochet stitch on top of the double crochet stitch. At the end, chain 1, turn your work and repeat it 1 more times. At the end, try to chain 1 and cut off the yarn, because next you are going to join your panels. So which means before you start joining, make sure the part that's down, the wrong side must be facing down, and the part that's going to be on top of the other one, the wrong side must be facing up. And you're going to start joining your shoulders before you attach your sleeves. Then you have to attach all your pieces together. And when you are joining, you must not skip any stitch, and you must grab both loops for both panels. For sleeves, try to fold them in half like that and mark the middle stitch. Actually, whereas to make it fair, from the marked stitch to the end there should be 8 inches, and as well as from that other marked stitch to the other end there should be also 8 inches. And that marked stitch actually is the one that you're going to attach to your shoulders. And just go ahead until you have joined all your pieces together with a yarn needle. To make the neck edge, try to use the same yarn color you have used for other edges by making a slip knot, and try to start in any stitch, and just make sure when you are doing it the wrong side must be the one that's out. So just make a chain 1 and make a double crochet back into that same stitch, and continue making double crochet in each stitch all around until the end. At the end, try to slip stitch on top of the first double crochet stitch you have started with, and just go ahead and make front post double crochet stitch and back post double crochet stitch. The same thing you have done for other pieces, and you actually have to do it also twice just like other edges. At the end, just try to slip stitch on top of the first double crochet stitch you have started with, chain 1, and you can cut off the yarn once you made 2 rounds of front post double crochet stitch and back post double crochet stitch.